Tom was the iron backbone of mountain men. Week after week, he chopped wood, set traps, and showed us what true grit looks like under a frozen sky. Then, as fast as a blizzard, he vanished from our screens. Questions exploded like sparks in a campfire. Was the aging cowboy hurt, tired, or hiding a secret no one dared to speak aloud? Rumors raced through fan pages, each one wilder than the last, yet no clear answer ever came. To understand the storm, we have to step back into the world that forged Tom's legend. Mountain Men is not just television. It is a raw test of nerve in places most of us know only from weather maps. The show drags viewers past paved roads to spots where firewood is worth more than Wi-Fi. Every winter night can freeze a steel nail in minutes, and comfort is counted in dry socks, stacked logs, and rows of jars sealed tight against wolves and frost. At the heart of this harsh stage stand three giants who carry the series with their own styles. Eustace Conway, Marty Maiorotto, and the man of the hour, Tom Orr, high in North Carolina's misty hills. Eustace moves with the calm focus of someone born a century too late. He teaches anyone brave enough to visit how to cut trees without chainsaws and how to track deer by faded hoof prints. Critics whisper that some scenes feel staged, yet Eustace shrugs and keeps working. Farther north, Alaska claws at Marty Maiorotto with air so cold it steals breath in a single gasp. Marty fires up his bush plane, lands on a strip barely wider than a driveway, then splits logs until his axe handle steams. He never brags. His silence says everything. But deep in Montana's Yak River Valley stand the show's beating heart. Tom Orr, with weathered hands and eyes that remember 1,000 dawns, he tans hides, crafts moccasins, and prepares for winters that swallow 7 full months. No shortcuts, just honest labor, and viewers love him for it. Together these men prove a wild truth. Life pared down to basics can be richer than any city dream. Every choice matters. Every mistake brings risk. Yet inside that danger lies beauty, clear air, wide sky, and the fierce pride of earning every meal. As seasons rolled on, sharp-eyed fans spotted tiny shifts around Tom. His pauses grew longer, his steps slower, and scenes that once felt endless suddenly ended early. Then, one day, he was simply gone. The shock hit like a falling tree. Viewers flooded message boards begging the network for answers, but silence only deepened the mystery. When the History Channel first launched the series, producers hoped for steady ratings, yet they struck wildfire instead. Viewers who usually skip nature shows stopped cold, drawn in by the honest danger and the crackle of real campfires on screen. The crew tried to stay invisible, yet wilderness makes that tough. Helicopters rattled treetops, extra light spooked elk, and retakes meant Tom sometimes skinned the same beaver twice, just so cameras could grab the perfect angle. Eustace faced debt collectors hiking up the mountain while he taught visitors to split rails with sledge and wedge. Through it all, Tom stayed humble. Fan mail piled high. Kids begged for autographs on photos of moose hides. But he kept his eyes on the woodpile, because winter never misses its cue. Still, sharp viewers noticed fresh pain in his knees every time he stooped near the fire, and Nancy's worried glances told a story without words. Ratings soared, but success carved grooves into the old cowboy soul. What could push a mountain legend away from cameras he already seemed to ignore? Was it the grind of filming, unseen health battles, or something stranger hiding in that timber cabin? The riddle runs straight into the icy wilds Tom shares with the one person who knows him best, Nancy. Or the winter of Montana tests everyone, yet it never cracked Tom and Nancy. Or food ran low, wind clawed at their cabin, and dawn came late, but the pair only gripped each other's hands tighter and pressed on. Their choice to flee city noise in the late 1970s feels bold even now. They sold what little they owned, paid for a rattling pickup with muskrat pelts, and drove until pavement vanished beneath pine needles. No guide, no backup plan, just a promise to trade sirens for silence every single morning. The land welcomed them with sharp lessons. Early frost killed their first garden, and coyotes stole meat off drying racks, yet Tom and Nancy refused to bend. They tracked prints in fresh snow and let the wild itself become teacher. During a supply run to Billings, fate nudged Tom into a shop scented with sage and smoke. There he discovered brain tanning, a way to soften hides using the animal's own brain. Strange as it sounded, Tom felt destiny in that forgotten skill. Back home, he scraped, soaked, and stretched hides until his fingers bled. Nancy hauled water, worked a fire, and learned each step beside him. Soon their buckskins folded like cloth, and word spread fast. Every summer they hauled the best pelts to the Black Powder Rendezvous, a carnival of flintlock rifles, canvas tents, and people chasing the old ways. Crowds swarmed Tom's booth, feeling the buttery leather and peppering him with questions. He never boasted. He simply taught while Nancy stitched fresh seams. Before long, Tom was more than a trapper. He was a mentor. Young dreamers pleaded to learn. Seasoned craftsmen asked advice, and everyone left with renewed respect for a fading craft. Cameras arrived later. The spark began in that smoky tent, not on television. Life in the valley stayed risky. Grizzlies pushed noses against cabin walls. Ice crushed roof beams, and isolation weighed heavy on long nights. Yet Tom and Nancy grew tougher than storms. Health scares came. Aching joints, stubborn coughs, a tumble on icy steps. Yet the couple met every trial the same way they met winter. They faced it together. While the nation now links Tom with buckskin, many forget he once chased a far louder dream. Long before hide smoke scented his clothes, he rode angry bulls for cheers and prize money. Born in Rockford, Illinois, Tom learned trick riding almost as soon as he could walk. While other kids explored playgrounds, he flipped from galloping horses, trusting balance more than gravity. That spark burned hotter each year. At 15, he hitchhiked to Ohio with nothing but a bull rope and hope. The arena swallowed him in dust and noise, and he loved every second. Through the 1960s, he climbed into the International Rodeo Association's top 10 again and again, stacking points and scars in equal measure. But danger stalks every rider. In 1970, Tom drew a brutal bull named Woolly Bugger. The beast exploded from the chute, bucked high, and sent Tom crashing under its hooves. He woke later, ribs bruised, memory foggy, and a new line carved across his soul. He kept riding, yet something inside had shifted. With every 8-second ride, he thought less about prize money and more about the quiet hills that danced through his dreams. Years rolled on and the roar of crowds lost its hold. Tom saw friends carried away on stretchers, felt the grind inside his own joints, and realized real stars burn over Montana, not above stadium lights. When he and Nancy steered their pickup toward the Yak River Valley, they were not running from fear. They were racing toward freedom. The bruises and bulls had taught Tom one harsh truth. Life is short, and meaning hides in simple places. Now, deep into his 80s, Tom passes that lesson to every visitor. He teaches how to read clouds, honor each animal taken, and stay gentle even when the world feels harsh. Nancy stands beside him, still stitching, still believing in the dream they built with log walls and raw courage. Their cabin may be small, yet the legacy born there stretches wider than any rodeo arena and higher than the tallest Yak Valley peak. Cameras captured only fragments, but the real heartbeat still thumps far from studio lights, carried on every cold wind sliding through the pines. Tom slammed the arena gate shut in 1981, and that single choice changed everything. Instead of chasing cheers, he chased silence, letting crisp winds and endless sky replace roaring crowds. The rodeo had trained him to crash hard and rise even harder. So when he stepped into Montana's wild maze, he arrived armed with grit, patience, and stubborn hope. Those early rodeo bruises became lessons that matter more than trophies. Lessons about pushing forward when bones ache and breath burns. Out in the forest, every crash from a falling pine echoed the thud of a bull's hoof. Yet Tom never blinked. He and Nancy carved new trails through snow-packed valleys, trading ribbons for resilience and spotlights for starlight. But even the toughest spirit can hit a breaking point. After seasons of non-stop chopping, trapping, and trekking, the wilderness decided to fight back. Late one night, Tom's chest tightened like a vice, stealing his air without warning. No hospital lights flickered nearby, just the dim glow of a cabin lantern and panic. Nancy grabbed the truck keys, gripped the wheel, and tore across 80 brutal miles of rutted road to Libby, Montana. Doctors broke the news fast. Heart failure. Tom's heartbeat was slipping. Fluid crowded his lungs, and every breath felt like hauling a sled through muck. They strapped a monitor to his chest, loaded him with medicine, and ordered a defibrillator vest just in case the worst hit when he was miles from town. Through that storm, one sight never wavered: Nancy's steady hands. She chopped wood, hauled water, and kept their winter stores full while Tom learned a slower rhythm. Viewers who had fallen in love with their off-grid dreams suddenly witnessed a deeper power, the unbreakable bond forged by decades of shared ice storms and hungry wolves. Their frantic drive to the clinic forced a chilling question. Could two aging mountain lovers still outrun time in a place without doctors on call? Every fan felt the sting of that reality. Yet Tom refused to surrender. With Nancy's quiet strength beside him, he limped back to the woodpile, determined to show that real courage is staring down failing lungs and still greeting dawn with a grin. Just when the couple thought they had found balance, a fresh battle charged over the ridge: fame. Cameras had turned their hidden valley into must-see television, and now the world wanted a piece of it. Tour buses squealed up dusty tracks. Hikers peeked through windows, and honeymooners from Switzerland posed by the smokehouse. The peaceful refuge Tom and Nancy once guarded like a treasure suddenly buzzed like a summer fairground. Crowds meant kindness. Fans brought thanks, gifts, and warm words, but they also meant noise, garbage, and restless nights. For two people who escaped city chaos on purpose, the constant traffic felt like thunder in a cathedral. And with Tom's heart now ticking on borrowed strength, every slammed car door rattled more than nerves. It rattled survival plans. Nancy counted visitors by the dozen. Tom counted heartbeats between breaths. And together they faced a truth sharper than any trap spring. The wilderness had changed, and so had they. Would they cling to fame's bright glow, or retreat deeper into the shadows to save Tom's life and their sanity? That choice loomed like a storm cloud over every sunrise. Applause thrilled Tom at first, yet the hidden cost grew fast. Tourists stomped through wildflowers, drones buzzed over the roof, and phone flashes shattered the twilight quiet. Tom thanked every guest with a smile, but deep inside, he felt his pulse race faster than any bull ride. Mixing crowds with a weakening heart turned their dream into a ticking clock, and the couple knew they had to act before time made the choice for them. The hush Tom sought vanished, replaced by rumors that roared louder than chainsaws. After Mountain Men exploded in 2012, fans could not imagine the show without its calm, weather-worn hero. So when Tom's screen time dipped after season 9, whispers flew across forums. Viewers feared the worst. Had Montana's toughest trapper finally met an enemy he could not outwit? In 2020, panic flared into wildfire when a slick online article announced Tom's death. The obituary read like gospel: birthplace, rodeo days, wilderness feats, even a fake funeral date in Lakeland, Florida. Grief flooded social feeds within hours. Condolences, photo tributes, and tearful messages piled higher than snow on Tom's cabin roof. Many readers never checked the source. They just shared, mourned, and moved on. Fuel poured on the blaze when fans recalled Season 11's terrifying scene: Tom gasping for breath in the dead of night. Doctors diagnosing a failing heart and nurses warning fluid could drown his lungs. That real emergency meshed with the fake obituary so neatly that doubt vanished. Click-hungry websites copied the lie, stacking page views while confusion spread. Then 2024 rolled in with yet another false alarm. New blogs repeated the Lakeland tale, claiming Tom had slipped away at 81. Some news feeds even quoted invented relatives, spinning a gentle passing under palm trees thousands of miles from the Yak Valley. At the same moment, other outlets insisted Tom was fine, simply enjoying retirement away from cameras. The clash left fans spinning. Who could they trust? Through the chaos, one steady rhythm emerged: testimony from neighbors, friends, and producers who actually knew Tom. He is alive and well, just quieter these days, they said again and again. Yet the rumor machine never sleeps. So Tom's name still pops up every few months beside that grim headline, forcing loved ones to correct the record one more time. Why does the myth cling so hard? Distance plays a big part. Tom and Nancy live 60 rugged miles from the nearest big town, and winter storms often chop phone lines. No daily selfies, no public doctor's notes, no press releases, just snowy silence. In an age where updates arrive by the minute, that silence feels like proof of the unthinkable. But the real story is simpler and stronger. Tom or is still breathing mountain air. He spends more days whittling than filming, more nights chatting with Nancy by the stove than dodging camera lights. His heart needs rest, his mind craves quiet, and his privacy is worth more than any paycheck. Fans who miss a steady presence can learn a final lesson from him. Sometimes the bravest act is retreating before the noise steals everything special. Tom never hunted fame. Fame hunted him. Now he tracks the one prize cameras can't sell: peace. Tom has lived a life most of us can only imagine, untamed, free, and deeply connected to the land. But even the strongest men must one day face the truth. Time doesn't stop for anyone. After decades spent wrangling bulls and surviving winters that would freeze most people in place, Tom is finally asking himself a serious question. What happens when the mountain starts to push back? He's always joked that he was born 150 years too late, and honestly, it shows. His soul belongs to an era where grit meant survival, and every day was earned, not given. From rodeo rings to snowy traps, Tom has never chased comfort. He chased freedom. But as both he and Nancy grow older, even the simple life isn't so simple anymore. Strength used to be enough. Now it takes stamina, and that's not so easy to hold on to. He once made a dark joke about ending up stretched out over the fleshing block. It shocked some people, but Tom wasn't afraid. He wasn't giving up. He was just being real. He's always accepted life's harsh truths with a dry smile and a steady hand. That same thinking is what sparked rumors about Florida, a place where winters don't bite, and life moves just a little slower. But let's be clear, Tom's not retiring in the way most people think. He's just thinking about balance, how to keep one foot in the wild while giving his worn-out body some rest. To him, retirement doesn't mean quitting. It means shifting gears. Here's the twist. It's true that Tom and Nancy spend part of the year in the Sunshine State. They use the off-season to rest, recharge, and escape the cold. That tiny fact added fuel to every fan theory out there. Even Tom seemed unsure about it all. In one thoughtful moment, he asked, "What does it even mean to retire? Do you just sit there?" That question hit hard. For someone who's always been in motion, stillness feels unnatural. Can a man who lived off the land just turn off the wild? So far, the answer seems to be no. Tom's still out there, still living with purpose, and still refusing to let age define him. Season 11 proved that when he showed up again, preparing for another harsh winter. The family runs Willow Bend Trading Post, a hub for their handmade knives, leather goods, and rugged gear. Their Facebook page is full of orders and admiration. Fans don't just love the products, they love what the products stand for. Tom's moccasins and custom gear rake in thousands each month. Reports suggest he's built a small fortune, about $200,000, through his craft and name. But more important than money is the legacy he's built. This isn't just about trapping or TV. It's about love, family, honor, and staying true to who you are no matter what.